So let me get this straight. Christian Pulisic looks set to leave to Barcelona, and Raphinha is meant to come to Chelsea because he gets photos with Mendy and Tuchel. It's interesting. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, and in today's video, we're covering 4 major stories. 4 very intriguing stories, 2 relating transfers, 1 relating a contract, and 1 relating a player that's really improved and is one of our own that we have to respect. Now, the first story will be about Christian Pulisic and how this is nonsense about him going to Barcelona. I'll explain it and I'll tell you why it's nonsense, and I'll tell you the real reason why this is leaking out. Number 2, Raphinha to Chelsea might actually be a real thing. Like, a lot of people don't want to accept it, and a lot of people will look down upon it, but I'll explain why I think this is gonna happen most probably. And then we're gonna talk about the 2 Chelsea players. We're gonna look at Antonio Rudiger. People are saying 200k, 300k, give it, and I'll tell you why we shouldn't give him the deal, and I don't want to talk about it anymore after this video. And finally, we will talk about the improvement in Mason Mount and how he is slowly maturing into a great footballer that is Chelsea quality. And yes, this is me saying he is turning into a Chelsea starter level player. We're going to talk about it all in one video. Let's continue. But I don't have no Patreon. I don't have no merchandise. I don't have nothing I charge you guys for. All I ask for is for you to hit that like button, sit down, grab your popcorn and enjoy my videos. That's the bare minimum you can do. If you don't like it, tell me I'm a prick. If you like it, tell me, Alex, you're great. And if you just want to have a football opinion and have a nice friendly discussion in the comments below with all the great people that regularly comment, please do. I reply to as many as I can. So 120 likes is the target. Can we hit that, please? Let's proceed with the video. Mundo de Deportivo in Spain is linking Christian Pulisic with Barcelona, and it's saying in quote marks, he would welcome the move. First of all, who wouldn't welcome a move to play for the team that plays at La Masia and Camp Nou? You love to train in La Masia and you love to play at the Camp Nou. So it makes sense. Barcelona are a juggernaut, no questions about it. Growing up, Christian Pulisic would have had dreams to play for a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, a Juventus, a Barcelona, Manchester United, Chelsea, top echelon clubs. So I can't tell you this, that he wouldn't welcome this move, because I would be lying. But I can tell you that Barcelona have no peas. Barcelona have no change. Barcelona have nothing. It's like me saying I would welcome having a Ferrari. I ain't got the money for a Ferrari. It's like me saying I would welcome a £3 million house. I ain't got the money for a £3 million house. I've got money for this house that I bought. But the reality is, Barca don't have the money, because if they did, they would have kept Messi. And if they had the money to be reinvesting, I highly doubt an injury-prone player is the way that they would proceed. And this is the real reason to what's going on. As we all know, Christian Pulisic's contract is coming up to an end in 2024 June. So, as of this moment, he has 2.5 years left. What happens at 2.5 years? Renegotiations occur. This is why there's been so many transfer rumors linking him away from the club. This is not nonsense. This is pure negotiation techniques. This is pure a club and the players' agents and representatives sitting down and putting news out there, so when they get together, they can renegotiate the best possible price. His agents and his representatives want this news out there for Chelsea to actually consider. Do we want to offer him a new deal? Do we want to let this marketing gem get out of our grasp? I think, and I genuinely agree with them, if the right price comes in, let him go. But at the same time, there's so much potential in Christian Pulisic. If he can just stay fit and get a run of games, he is actually a very good player that I would not mind keeping. But if he does go, I always welcome alternative approaches. A lot of people were looking at Ousmane Dembele, a lot of people were looking at Eden Hazard, but I think the one that we should be looking at is that Raphinha, the Brazil international from Leeds United. Scored against us, soused a little bit, ended up giving a penalty away, had an overall good game. Should have scored the Mendy opportunity, was offside. But after the game, we saw a side to Raphinha that I never knew existed. Raphinha was very chatty-patty with Mendy to the point where he took a picture, Mendy put it up on his story, Raphinha reposted it, and you would say, Alex, don't read too much into that, it's normal, they both played for Rennes. Then he got caught talking to Thomas Tuchel. And Thomas Tuchel was spitting fire on him. It's like, you know, when you meet a girl in a club or in a bar and you're just talking to her and you're both giggling, you're both laughing, everyone's feeling it. She's feeling it, you're feeling it. You both know this is going very well. That's the look that they had in this photo and in that video. Both smiling, both very charismatic, both like thinking, you know what, there's a good opportunity that this could happen. And I think Raphinha would add a lot to our team. If you look at from a statistical standpoint, he creates a lot of chances. He gets good amount of XG for created chances to score goals. He works hard. He reminds me of a productive Willian. And I think Willian was a good player for Chelsea over the years and never had the opportunity to be the #1 guy. Thank God that never happened, by the way. But an auxiliary piece, I think Raphinha would be quality. Now we're going to talk about an issue that a lot of you don't like, right? I've seen a lot of big Twitter accounts talk rubbish. I've seen a lot of big Twitter accounts go, pay him whatever you want. Pay him whatever you want. 200k, 300k, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You all know who these accounts are. But this is the reason why you can never have fans on a board. What do you mean it doesn't matter? That across 4 years, it's either 41 million or 61 million. It matters. That is a big amount of money to give Antonio Rudiger. And I will explain to you why I don't think he deserves that money at Chelsea. If he gets that somewhere else, brother, I wish you get paid. I wish you all the best, and I think you've been fantastic for the last 12 months. But let's not overwrite the reality of the situation. The reality of this situation is Antonio Rudiger's time at Chelsea has been very volatile. There have been opportunities where he's been the best player. There's been opportunities where he's been absolutely terrible. And a lot of people want to rewrite this history. They're going to say, look, Alex, he's been fantastic, he's world class. Listen, 12 months is not, it's not even 12 months, it's 10 months is not a good enough sample size for you to sit there, hand in your heart, say he deserves 200k for the next 4 years. Realistically speaking, that's not what Chelsea need to be doing right now. Let's look at it. Under Conte, second season, Chelsea finished 10th. Chelsea finished 10th under Conte, or 6th, wherever it was, right? It was a terrible season. It almost put me off. If I was at a channel then, you lot would have been getting rants on a weekly basis. He was a key piece in that team. Then under Sarri, he was in and out, in and out. Decent, average at best. Under Frank, he got excluded from the team. And now under Tuchel, he's balling out, right? Systemic, a lot of people would say, I'd say a good run of form. I'd say a very good player. A player that adds a lot to our team. But a player that can be easily replaced. There are replacements out there. You can't be giving every man 200k who plays well. You really can't be doing that. A lot of people are going to say, Alex, what are you talking about ruining the structure? The structure is as simple as this. At this moment in time, Timo Werner gets paid more than him and is worrying that he does. Saul gets paid more than him, is worrying that he does. But Lukaku, Thiago Silva, other players that get paid more than him, justifiably get paid more than him. If he can go and get 400k somewhere else, brother, I'm happy for you. I am happy for you. But at Chelsea, I don't think you should be getting that money. And it will ruin our structure because in the next year or so, Mason Mount will need a new contract, Reece James will need a new contract, Christian Pulisic will need a new contract, Callum Hudson-Odoi will need a new contract, and more other players will need other contracts. And what do you think they're going to be demanding? What do you think they're going to be demanding? 200k. Because if a starter in Antonio Rudiger gets 200k, they're going to be asking for the same money. It will ruin the structure. Chelsea are foreshadowing things to come. You can easily go and replace an Antonio Rudiger and bring someone else in, and you're going to laugh. This is coming from me. Go get Declan Rice and play him left centre back. Go get Jules Koundé. Go get Wesley Fofana. You can replace these players. Things aren't always as great as they seem, and they're not always as bad as they seem. It's somewhere in the middle, and that's exactly where we are. Mason Mount's production this year in the Premier League has been outstanding, and I just wanted to have a little quick moment just to give him some credit that I think he rightfully deserves. A lot of people exaggerated last year how good Mason Mount was, and I understand he was the player of the year, but a lot of people would say, hey, he's fantastic, he's world class. I don't think he's world class, but I think he's en route to becoming a very influential player in this Chelsea team for years to come. He's this year got 6 goals in the league. He's got 4 assists, which makes his contributions 10 goals in 13 games, 9 starts, 4 off the bench, which is a great output. But what I like about those 6 goals, they come in 4 games. I like players that don't get multiple goals in one game. I like them when they spread it out across multiple weeks. So I want my players to score in 15 game weeks out of 38. Get a few braces in there. Beautiful numbers. But if you gave me 15 goals in different game weeks, I'm over the moon. And Mason Mount is starting to do that now. He's finally adding the production. Production doesn't mean your performances have to stink, but I would rather, I'm not gonna lie to you, have production with performances that stink than production with no goal. Understand what I mean? I'd rather have goals than just performance. For me, Mason Mount is starting to do that, and for me that's important. It really is. It's what part of the reason why Bruno was so effective at Manchester United for so long. At this moment in time, we can't be dropping Mason Mount, and I think we have to respect how good Mason Mount has become. He's becoming one of the first names on the team sheet, and long may this continue. Kai Havertz, Callum Hudson-Odoi, hopefully they continue to get chances, because I think they can go on a similar trajectory. I think game time develops players. I think faith from the manager develops players. The only problem is we have a big investment in Romelu Lukaku, Hakim Ziyech that needs to play, Christian Pulisic. We might have too many chefs in the kitchen. Eventually, I think this system needs to change to a 4-2-3-1. If it doesn't change, then some players have to leave. That's my personal opinion. But for now, this is it, guys. I wanted to give some positive spin to things. This is the Kavkas View. 120 likes is what we're aiming for. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.